What if I told you I am faster running at the same low heart rate than I was 8 months ago? What if I told you that by putting in the effort and the time that you would see gains that you may not have seen before? What if I told you that you could have a totally different type of running experience using the Maffetone method? And what if I told you that your Kuros watch or your Garmin watch could help you get there? Today I'm going to run a Kuros fitness test, and I want to see how I've improved over the last number of months. I've been using the Maffetone method for all of my training, and if you don't know what that is, it's using 180 minus your age, and that's the heart rate that you're going to run for basically all of your runs, your base building. The other week I was going to do this exact same test. I didn't have a recent 10K time to plug into the app to figure out where I'd be running doing this test. So today I actually can now do that. What if I told you that I could fail at running this Kuros fitness test? What if I told you that I was a little worried about that? Test number 4 isn't always available to everybody, because if you don't get to step number 3 or test number 3, then you will have failed and you would have to start all over again. The test consists of running on flat ground. It may be a little hard for me to do, but I'll figure it out. It's a warm-up. There's a 25-minute steady run, and then it starts going into threshold pace range, and then anaerobic pace. I think that's the way it goes, because it's been a long time since I've done this thing. I also have a screenshot of my current fitness and all of my predicted times for everything from a 5K up to a marathon. So we'll do the exact same thing at the end of this run to see what it predicts I'd be able to do and how much fitness I gained in doing this test. I'm using the Cospo armband. Well, it looks like I can only put in a 52 minutes, even though I ran a 53 and change. So I have to go with this. So the test should take me anywhere from 30 minutes to 40 minutes to complete. It's just a 5-minute warm-up, and then things get probably a little crazy. Don't even know what crazy looks like yet, because the watch hasn't told me the numbers I should be running at yet. .520, I gotta run. Okay, settle in. It's a little fast. Get into the groove. I think I'm averaging around 5:30 per kilometer, but I keep going faster. I gotta slow it down a bit for this test to work, I guess. But I found a groove. Okay, time to, let's put the head down and I got about 14 minutes left at this pace. I'm not trying to get fast. Well, that's a wrap. Man, that was hard. My next phase down my threshold went down to 520 to 450, and that was tough. But then it got really tough because I had to go from 450 down to 420. And I don't know, I think I averaged only on that last one, probably 440, 445. That was tough, considering I don't do speed work. But let's go take a look at the numbers and see how this fitness test went. I couldn't get my phone, I couldn't get my GoPro to film when I was going that fast because there's a battery problem. Oh my gosh, my stomach, I feel like I'm gonna puke. You can see when I started this today, I was 71.3. And then when I finished, I was 77.6. It was a gain of 6.3 points. And that is amazing. I increased on every single one. My endurance, threshold, speed, sprint, every single one, I got faster. My VO2 max didn't change, but that's something that I wasn't expecting it to, because over time, if I continue to add speed work into my running, that number will move. I wanted to see if all my other numbers would move. And my threshold pace is 23 seconds per kilometer faster. So my race predictors of the Kuros watch tells me that my 5K, I have improved by 1:55 or 23 seconds per kilometer. My 10K shows that I have improved 4 minutes 15 seconds or 25 seconds per kilometer. A half marathon, 10 minutes 14 seconds or 32 seconds per kilometer. And my marathon would be 31 minutes faster or 43 seconds per kilometer faster if I compare May to where I am today. Last month when I ran my 10K race, I believe I could have run that faster. Now, the Kuros watch is predicting I can run that in 48 minutes, 47 seconds. I actually believe that to be true because I just proved to myself that I have it in me. I could really push a little bit faster than I did when I tried running last month. So this shows like my threshold heart rate is like 171, which is amazing. Like back in May, I was really kind of struggling. I didn't really know what I was getting into when I was doing this test. And so I think my mindset just wasn't there, and I just didn't give it everything I had. My results from May 24th of 2023, when I did my first Kuros fitness test, it was kind of like my baseline. They had just introduced this whole fitness test on the Kuros watch, and I wanted to take advantage of it and see what it would do. And over the last 8 months, I did strictly MAF training. Yes, I did a couple of faster runs, but there was no training plan. It was literally, I'm just going to run slow. I'm just going to run the Maffetone method. I'm going to run trails. I'm going to just do the things that I normally do. And I want to see if after 8 months, I am faster. So when I did this test, obviously there was, back in May, there was a 5-minute warm-up, 25-minute, and then a 3-minute and a 3-minute test. Now I got to all 4, which was really cool, and then I did my 5-minute cool down. This time round, I did it 8 months later to see if I improved. You can see my times have significantly improved. You can also see that my Kuros watch has told me that my aerobic fitness has improved. This is 8 months. It's quite amazing to see. So on one side, you can see in May, I did this test and it worked out to like 6.62 kilometers, okay? And you can see my maximum heart rate was 181. My threshold heart rate was 160. You can see how I did as a whole in that test. Now, I was doing this test for the very first time, so a lot of my fitness was really kind of messed up because I didn't know where I was. So from baseline back then, I saw some great running improvements, as the app would say. On the other side, today's run, which I'm really happy with, you can see that, I did 10-kilometer run. That's fine because I wanted to finish it off with another 4K because I still had more in me. But I ran that really slow. But the number to look, there's a couple of numbers to look at, which was amazing, is my maximum heart rate was 192. My threshold was 171. My threshold pace was 4:53 per kilometer. That's flippin' awesome compared to where I was. And, you know, I realized that this particular test, I was able to really dial it in and just give it my all. And I did. I gave it my all. And that was where I was. I don't believe that when I first did this test, I gave it my all. I think I was scared, to be quite honest. And my fitness really wasn't there either. And so I was pushing, but I don't think I had it in me. But this, I'm really happy with, you know, the fitness test today. If you look at the zones from May to then February, the thing that I would pay close attention to would be my zone 4 and my zone 5. I look at those numbers and I really drop them down compared to what they were. And to me, that's a win. Like, I am so happy with how I did on today's run. Heart rate and where I was training again in May and where I am now. You can see that, you know, May I had a hard time kind of keeping my speed up, but today I literally found my speed. And I'm so grateful. It worked out extremely well. I'm in a way better place. The Maffetone method had allowed me to train for 8 months to get to a point where I could put down this test and see where I was and kind of look at the improvements I've made without really doing any speed work. This is just continuously putting in the miles each and every day, doing long runs, and then throwing in a couple of races, I guess, you know, from a 10K to a half marathon. I haven't run a 5K in about a year and a bit, but, you know, at the end of the day, looking at the numbers, is this 100% accurate? I don't know, but I'm kind of going with it. I didn't fail. So if you're looking to improve your running and you're afraid that your Maffetone pace is going to be too slow and it's not going to work for you, or you don't want to give it the time and energy, look at my numbers. That's just me. Everyone's going to be different. You're going to be different from your friend and everybody else. Everyone's different in their running journey. So what I always say is just compare yourself against yourself, give it time, and be consistent. And at the end of the day, measure your metrics, because without measuring, you don't know if there's something that should be changed. So what does that mean for me moving forward? Do I continue to just do the Maffetone method, or do I continue to do zone 2 now that my zones have changed, or do I start to run faster with those new zones and add in a little bit more speed work, right? 80-20 more or less. Still doing 80% Maffetone training, and then the other 20% would be more of some tempo runs a week, maybe a little bit of track work, whatever it may be. Maybe I just take it and I go on the hills and, you know, do a lot of hill sprints, right? Whatever that may be, 20% could be that. Maybe I'm ready for that now. Maybe I'm psychologically ready to go down that road, because as my weight continues to drop, as I continue to feel better, do I have it in me to be able to push myself to a different level than just running slow? At this point in time, I'm going to say it's a little bit of mixture of all of it. I'm pretty happy with the results. If I had known these 5 things before I started using the Maffetone method, I think I may have been a little bit further ahead. In this video, I'm going to point out what those are. Like I always say, get out and run.